All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Cali, baby. It's race number 5 of the season, and it's a 90-lapper. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series hits Cali for a 90-lap race. Race number 5, and we're approaching halfway through the season. If you're going to make a run, it could start tonight. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory here at Cali? Well, there's only one way to find out, baby, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, you know what LL Cool J says? I'm going back to Cali. Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. Race number 5, baby. It's California. Let's get this party started. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. And a good one for you tonight at California. Guys are out in the practice session right now. Good racing in store for you tonight here at California, man. Always a fun track. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV, owner of High Octane Racing League. It's a 90-lap race, race number 5 of the season. This great 2-mile oval. I wish this thing still existed, man. It is such a shame that this thing doesn't actually exist in real life anymore. What a fun track it was. Indy cars, also stock cars. There's some great racing that went on at California. We still have it in the virtual world, and we're going to bring you flag to flag coverage here tonight. And about 12 minutes left to go in the practice session. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. Are you interested in an rFactor 2 server? Well, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. How about hosting your website or your online store? VPS hosting and shared web hosting also available through EliteHostingUSA.com. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and smash that bell. You get updates when races are going live here. When I have updates to videos or uploaded videos. Thanks to all the people who have subscribed, come out, watch the races, whether you've been here from the beginning or you're brand new or somewhere in between. Thank you so much. And if you come out and watch the races and you're not subscribed, please encourage you to do so. That way it helps me beat the algorithm, so to speak. I think we've got a good one in store for you right now. Well, drivers out here could get a few more in the 10 minutes before qualifications. Tell you what, we got a really, really tight points battle. See just 3 points separate Arthur Vieta and Sean Jacobs there, P1, P2. And Preston Hassel in this mix as well. He is just 8 points back in that third position here coming into race number 5. Dana Grover sits fourth. Gordon Carter is fifth. So really tight points battle up here up front. Chris Hughes is sixth. John Stanley seventh. Claudio Bargelli Jr. is eighth. Givaldo Spinola is ninth. And Dennis Odachin is 10th. Take a look at page number 2, headed up by Tony Furtado. Roman Simachenko is 12th in points. Mateus Melo 13th. Stanislav Pavlov 14th. You see Giulio Caligari is 15th. Jomar Peixoto 16th. Todd Robillard is 17th. Eugene Fedorov sits 18th in points. Jesus Iglesias and Rizky Nova are making out 19th and 20th. These guys tied for that position at 19th place. Some of these guys are part-time racers. That's okay. We're good with that. Fast track, a lot of room to race here. Really, I think getting through the corners there, you can do it on the high side, do it in the middle, do it on the low side. You're just going to have to take care of your tires there. Be really, really careful. Stay below that yellow line or that white line there. That'll give your car a lot of problems potentially. Take a look at the schedule here in the Xfinity Series. Of course, this is race number 5, 90 lapper, and we head on to Chicagoland Speedway next week. July the 3rd should be a fun race there. Always a fun one at Chicagoland. That's race number 6 of the season, coming up on July the 3rd. Are we already headed into July? My heavens, where has June gone? Well, let's hope July goes really, really slowly, at least from my perspective since I teach. But hey, we'll be at Chicagoland next week. 100-lap race in Chicagoland. Be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Get an idea of what it's like to get around this place here. Let's take a look at the track overlay. Auto Club Speedway, California, as we know it, was located in Fontana, California. 2 miles, banking, of course, 4 turns, banking in the turns, 14 degrees, and a lot of room to race through these corners. Front stretch 11 degrees and the back stretch at 3 degrees. I think what you're looking at here with that banking on that front stretch too could be in play here for a lot of passing, but you can pass in the corners. You just got to finish them off the corners here at Auto Club. That sets us up for our race keys here. You got to own that high line. That's probably the best place to be through the corners. I know these guys are diving down to that low line a little bit here through practice session, but I think owning the high line, being able to make passes on the high line once the tires start to wear out, is really going to be key here. Got to be up on the wheel here at California. They can get away from you in a hurry. There's a lot of room to race, but this thing is really, really going to be on rails here tonight. Throttle management as well, coming off the corners, through the corners, into the corners, wherever. It's all about the throttle management. Save those tires as well. Overdrive the car, you're going to have some problems with with being able to manage that tire. And make good pit stops. Get it on and off pit lane. Very important here at Auto Club Speedway. Those are my keys to the race here tonight. Get some chatters in here. Thank you so much for Givaldo kicking us off as always. Best of luck to Givaldo tonight. And, welcome race fans here to TurnLeftTV. Tomorrow we'll be at Gateway Raceway, 120-lap race in the Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen Series, race number 6 of that season, and a great track there at Gateway. Egg-shaped oval located in Madison, Illinois, just across the river from St. Louis. We're going to hit that tomorrow at 9 p.m. Tough Truck Series will be at Chicagoland Speedway, 100-lap race coming up on Wednesday, July the 1st. Kicking off July at Chicagoland, race number 6 of that season. And big tire rule in that series really makes it interesting. And I think it's definitely going to be in play at Chicagoland, too. This thing is tough on tires. Really, in some ways, it kind of behaves as similar to California. And there's the high lines in play. You're going to see a lot of double file racing. And you got to set up those passes. I think it's very, very similar, to be honest with you. Looks like we got about 4.5 minutes left to go in the practice session. See John Stanley getting some practice in pitting. Gilmar Prosciutto here in his 71. Up there in that high line. As like we said, that's going to happen quite a bit tonight. But I think you're going to see some guys through the corners try to use that low line as well to do a slide job on some of the guys that might be in the middle to high line. But I think if you don't pull it off early in the corners, you're going to lose that advantage, because that high line, if you stick with it, it's better coming off the corners. And it's better on tires too. About 3.5 minutes left to go. I want to take a moment to congratulate Donovan Boyke on his championship in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. 8-race season. It was fantastic. We did have a little battle there toward the end of the season, a couple drivers, but Donovan came out on top. Very consistent. I'll tell you what, this is a story of coming out early in the week and getting a lot of practice in, which is exactly what he did. And that resulted in a championship for him. So congratulations to Donovan. Good to see these new members of High Octane Racing League come away with the championship. Started off early. A couple guys up there on that high line. Dennis Udachin and Mateus Mello right now in the practice session, working this high line. They know the game. They know the game. Couple minutes left to go and we'll hit qualifications. Don't forget to support Claudio Bardelli Jr. as the Silvertop Podcast YouTube channel. Check him out, man. All things music there at Silvertop Podcast. And Claudio does a great job with that broadcast. Good interviews, talking all things music at Silvertop. Got about a minute left here before we hit qualifications. Guys are getting after it, man. California is a a really high-speed track. And I think, I do think that qualification position is going to be in play here tonight, too. It is a little tough to pass because there's numerous lines that will work at this track. So you got to be up on the wheel all night long, not make any mistakes. So I definitely think that's qualifications are going to be important here tonight. So it looks like that practice session is over. This guy's going to head to qualifications. Give us a chance, I think, to check the practice time. Tony Furtado, man, he came out early, 40.764, top time in practice. Couple Chevys there. Archer Vieta, 40.950. We see Preston Hassel, the top four, with a 49.87. Julio Galagari, fourth in practice. Givaldo Spinella, fifth. You see Sean Jacobs, sixth. Seventh is John Stanley, Mateus Mello, 8th, Jomar Peixoto, 9th, and Roman Simonenko is 10th. Take a look at 11 through 13. Claudio coming in here a little bit late, but I'm sure he'll be a factor here tonight. He'll get a good qualification position. Gordon Carter and Dennis Udachin there with some good positioning as well. All right, man, we are in quals, baby. We are in quals. Take a look at our practice, our lead time, our lead car in practice. That is Tony Furtado. Furtado, you're looking at, oh man, he way up the track there. Boy, he had to get out of the gas a little bit. The car was wanting to scooch up. Now he's on his timed lap. Here we go. Not want to damage that car before you get a timed lap in. Don't want to damage it at all, but certainly without a time, it would be bad. And forward with that outside wall is the 9 car. Jacobs with the top time here with that 41.043, the first one to get across the line. His first lap. Set the time for people to beat here, but here we go. Tony Furtado, let's see where he lands. Sean Jacobs at the top time. Tony Furtado with a 5th place so far. Little work to do for Tony. 41.612 for him. How about Dennis Udachin? Right now shown 7th on the grid. Let's see here what lap 2 shows. Vieira, Spindola, Mello, and Peixoto still have not logged a time. I think Mello out on the track now. Well, Mello in the pits here still, it looks like. Oh, Dennis way up into the outside wall right there, that 47 car. That's what I'm talking about, man. That thing was skate. Whoa! Dennis destroying that car. He's going to have to go to a backup car. Oh, no. Roman Simonenko here in a 3X. Another one of our great Ukrainian drivers. So Dennis, a hard lick for Udachin. Did get one timed lap in, but wow, that hurt. Roman played a little bit safe there. He is 12th. It looks like he kind of backed off that lap and came in. Mateus Mello, his out lap here. I think we're going to get two good laps out of him. Archie Vieta to the top with a 48.11. Mateus and the 1X now in his timed lap. Archie Vieta, Claudio Bardelli Jr., Preston Hassel, Sean Jacobs, and Gordon Carter right now in the top 5. Can Mateus dig into that? He's got going to have to pick it up here. Sector number 1 a little bit off there, about 2 tenths off. Another 2 tenths there in sector number 2. Let's see where he logs. He wants maybe try to get up there in the middle of the pack at least. P12 there for Mateus. He's going to have to get some work done here on lap number 2. Shoto up to P6. Mello down the backstretch. A little bit better on that first sector in this second lap. Now can he put these two together, put these two sectors together? Is a little bit faster here at sector 2 here. Let's see where sector 3 lands him. So I think he's going to move up the grid a little bit. Let's take a look. P7 for Mateus up the grid there. A good starting position for Mateus Mello now. Looks like that's going to be it as far as qualifications. So we will give you the official results here in just about 5 minutes or so. Again, thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate everybody supporting the channel, coming out to watch the races, whether it be live or on replay. Let's get this party started. All right, we are back. Qualifications have finished. We'll give you the results. In case you're just joining us, this is race number 5 of the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Xfinity Series, and we are at California for a 90-lapper tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and we just finished qualifications, and we're going to give you the results. Arthur Vieira in the 4 qualifies in P1. Outside row 1 will be Claudio Bardelli Jr. Preston Hassel starts in the 3rd position. Sean Jacobs will start 4th. Gordon Carter will start in the 5th position. Giomar Peixoto will start 6th. Look at all those Chevys there clumped together. 7th will be Mateus Mello in the 1X. Julio Caligari in the 6th will start in the 8th position. John Stanley in the 12 will start 9th. Tony Furtado in the 9 will start in the 10th position. Starting in 11th will be Givaldo Spindola in the 68. Dennis Udachin in the 47 will start in 12, and Roman Semenchenko will start in the 13th position. These guys will now be hitting some warm-up. And don't forget, next week we'll be at Chicagoland Speedway for race number 6 of the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Xfinity Series. Coming up on July the 3rd. And are we already into July? My heavens, man. Let's slow down. Slow down a little bit. Let me enjoy the rest of June first. 100-lap race coming up at Chicagoland next Friday right here on TurnLeftTV. Again, thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and smash the bell. You'll get updates when races are going live. How about this, man? I'm at 1,000 subscribers. Yes, I made it. I made it. Now on to 2,000. Let's do it. Thank you so much to all the recent subscribers, all the people who have been here from the beginning and somewhere in between. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting TurnLeftTV. Loving it. Absolutely love it. We're jamming here. I forgot, man. I got it up a little loud. I was getting down. Thought I was at an Ozzy concert, man. Sorry, I had to say that. That was my first concert ever, was an Ozzy concert. Well, technically it wasn't, but it was the first concert I ever went by myself or without my parents. How about that? I had to go to see Tom Jones when I was a kid with my mom and dad, and I think it was probably more for mom than it was dad, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, I was jamming like I was at a concert. Hey, Tom Jones, I like him now, man. I'm good. Hey, High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be Chicagoland on Wednesday, July the 1st, race number 6 of the season. 100-lap race in Chicagoland should be a fun race, man. I'll tell you, with this tire rule and Chicago's being tough on tires, tire rule will be in play at Chicagoland, and it's going to be some 2 and even 3 wide racing at this track. That's coming up on Wednesday night, the High Octane Racing League Tough Truck Series. I got to get my pick to win this race tonight. I have got to get my pick in here to win this race. Who's it going to be? Well, I tell you what, I'm going to pick the big secret. It's a big secret. Nobody knows, do they? Well, you do now. My pick to win this race is that guy right there, the 24, Sean Jacobs, in that Kubota-sponsored Chevy. He is pretty good at this track. You want to keep your eye on Sean Jacobs in the 24. He likes to race that high line. He's good in that high line, so the track I think he's going to do well at. There's my pick. I got it in the books to win this race. Sean Jacobs, one of our great Pennsylvania drivers. So guys, going back here, coming out of the, I wish at these tracks, man, don't start them in the garage. Just start them on the pit road. Oh my gosh. Every time I pick a driver to win the race, I hear, once that driver finds out that I've picked them, they're always like, oh no. It's the jinx. I knew they were going to react that way. That's why I picked Sean. We'll step on the gas. Tony Fontana coming down pit lane, getting some practice in here. I tell you what, pitting high speed here at this track, so it's not a bad idea to get a little practice. Bad idea to get a little practice in as we close in on ending the warm-up session. So here's what I was saying with respect to this track. It would be nice if we could just have the car start on pit lane. We don't need all that realism by them starting in the garage. It's just not necessary, and it takes extra time to come down the track. So I know those track builders out there do a great job, but as you see right there, the 2X getting into the wall a little bit, into the fence. Just put them on pit lane, man. Come on. All right, getting ready to get the command to start the engines. All right, here we go, boys and girls. Here we go. I'm ready to go, baby.
A lot of soul.
I am ready to go. All right, here we go. All righty, here we go. We're going to give you the starting order. Starting order here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting order. Archie Vieta will start P1. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts outside row 1 in P2. Preston Hassel will start in the third position. Sean Jacobs will start in fourth. Starting in the fifth position is Gordon Carter. Gilmar Peixoto starts in the sixth position. Starting in seventh will be Mateus Mello. Starting in the eighth position will be Giulio Caligari. Starting in ninth will be John Stanley in the 12th. Tony Furtado starts 10th. Givaldo Spindola starts in that 11th position, and Dennis Udachin will start in 12th. And starting in the 13th position will be Roman Simachenko. All right. Don't forget my race keys here tonight, man. Own that high line, be up on the wheel, manage your throttle, save those tires, and make good pit stops. Again, own that high line. I think that's going to be the place to be. You can make passes on the low line, but you got to be really, really careful with drifting up. Things are going to get tight coming off the corners, so you're going to have to be really, really up on the wheel. Arthur Vieta will lead the field to take the green flag here at California.
Green flag, go, go, go.
And we're off here at Cali. Good jump there for Preston Hassel. Oh, we already got some shenanigans going on.
Yellow,
yellow. We got a caution flag. Big caution flag there with some contact with these guys. Wow. All right, these guys going to do a restart here. God, what is going on? A little bit of a restart. Very embarrassing for these boys. All right, here we go. One more time. Better not. They're ruining my broadcast, man. What are you guys doing? What are they doing? This is the one and only restart these guys are going to get, so. All right, these guys lining up the grid here for try number 2. Try number 2 of 2. It'll give me a chance to take a little sip of coffee. Strong coffee. Colombian coffee. Hey, speaking of South America, man, our hearts And thoughts and prayers are going out to the people of Venezuela. And oh my heavens, praying for all those people in that country. That is just devastating. If you've been watching the news, just absolute ginormous two back-to-back tremors in really quick succession, well over 7 on the Richter scale. Just a tragedy right there. So we were thinking about all those folks and sending out our prayers to them. Really puts things in perspective when something like that happens too. All right, I think we're going to get it done this time. It'll be a good idea to maintain your lane there. I think a lot of guys here with these little colder tires are diving into that inside, diving up on that inside line and drifting up. So you're going to have to be careful there. Here we go. Claudio, good start there. Gets ahead of Argenvieta. Good start on that outside. Argenvieta tucking in. I think those guys are probably going to work together a little bit. Look at that 27 car trying to, or excuse me, the 71. They're trying to split between the 27 and the 24. These guys look like they are a little bit more sober now here on this restart. Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Argenvieta have opened up a little gap there on P3. P3 is Preston Hassel in the 27. Just behind him is the 71, looking like he wants to get around that PixBet sponsor machine. Sean Jacobs running in the 5th position. I think as long as those guys up front just work together, then things are going to be okay for them. Caligari and Furtado having a pretty good battle too. Furtado in the 9 car following the 6th. There's a 24 just ahead on board here with Caligari. Sean Jacobs running in P5. Gilmar Peixoto trying to get P3 away from Preston Hassel. So Peixoto in 71 got a little bit of a run. Peixoto diving down to the inside. You see he pulls off that pass. He's now up to P3. Preston Hassel falling back to that 4th position. These guys may be thinking some tire safe strategy as well. Caligari and Furtado now side by side down the backstretch. Furtado to the inside, trying to get around Caligari. Caligari's got that draft from the 24. The 24 dropping down to the inside. You got to be careful there. 4 of Dennis Udachin entering this mix as well. The 2X of Gordon Carter running in the 8th position. Take a look at those guys working together there in the 2X and the 47. P1, P2 have opened up a considerable gap on the rest of these guys. About a 2-second gap over P3. Roman Semachenko, one of our new Ukrainian drivers out here racing with us. Running in the 13th position. Great IndyCar Series season for him. Doing a lot of racing here now with High Octane Racing. He's interested in all the series. Rolling up on Givaldo. Good run here on Givaldo in the 68. Good to see Roman out with us, man. I always like to see these new drivers. Showing a lot of respect, a lot of racing savvy as well, and a huge interest in racing. Guys tighten it through there with P1, P2, and then you got a cluster of cars. About 6 cars there running behind. Maybe more than 6. John Stanley in that 12 car. Little pack there. Those guys need to get organized to close in. I mean, you see them side by side. They've got to get organized.
Yellow.
Semachenko coming around. Oh, up into the outside wall. I saw that happen. He and Mello got together. Semenchenko and I'll tell you what, P1, P2 did not want to see that. And some contact there between Semenchenko and Mello. Take a look here. See Mello and Semenchenko right here, and Semenchenko drifting up the track, getting into Mello, and then cannot. Oh man, hard lick there on that left side. Driver's side contact, but he thought he might have been able to save that, but man, tell you what, he's going to come up here. I don't think he sees that. I don't believe he saw the 1X. A little bit of a blind spot there. See right here coming up the track. And then contact there as he's going to hit hard on the driver's side. Look at Mello here, so you see a little bump there for him. And then Semenchenko in the outside wall. Give her one more look at this. Oh man, just drifting up the track, getting into the side. And out of room right there. The best bet is kind of tuck in. So some big-time damage there, I think, for Semenchenko into that driver's side section of the car. So Bardelli Jr., our leader. So we're going to have, I think some guys are going to come down pit road. Pit road. Reading a message as I was chatting. Somebody sent me a message on Facebook. So on pit road, look at that. Big takers there at pit road. Dennis Udachin staying out. Mello staying out here, maybe trying to get some laps led, as Udachin's going to get a lap led, earn some points. So early caution flag. No, Dodson has not come down pit lane here. I don't know if he's going to dive down pit lane with the when we get ready to go back green or not. Start at the back of the field. I'm not sure that I would risk this situation here with these tires here at this track. I think I would come down pit lane and throw some tires on this thing. Claudio Bardelli Jr. shown in the second position. Preston Hassel is third. Furtado fourth. Vieira did not have a very good pit stop, man. He is back to the seventh position. Very surprising there. He's usually pretty solid on pit stops, but his pit crew did not do him any favors on that pit sequence. So he is now back to the seventh position. So Udachin, Bardelli, Hassel, Furtado, and Jacobs making up the top five. And I think Udachin's going to come down pit lane. I just cannot imagine him. There you go. He does look like he's on pit lane. So looks like we're on the same page, or he's listening to the broadcast, one or the other. Fireball Flash picking Dennis Udachin to win this race. How about that? There you go. In the bag right there is Fireball Flash. Dana Grover not out here racing with us tonight. Just have a hot date. And he's picked Dennis to win this race. Got a lot of laps to go here as we have an early caution flag. As it looked like a couple Fords are going to start on the front row. Tony Furtado and Sean Jacobs, a couple Chevys, will be in row number 2. Caligari and Vieira. 2 more Chevys will start in row number 3. Peixoto and Stanley, looks like they'll be in row 4. Row 5 will be Carter and Mello. And the pace car's off. Here we go. Get ready to go back green.
Go, go, go.
Semchenko, with that damage that he had, has lost a lap. He's now in the 13th position, 1 lap down, but in the lucky dog position. So all is not lost there for him. These guys just, seems like this track, man, early on we get a couple caution flags. You see Givaldo way up on that high side. Coming off. Oh, no, Bardelli!
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Early on, as we get some caution flags, and Bardelli's into the wall. Bardelli went into the wall. And there might have been some contact there. Oh, and he's blown the engine. Lost the engine to that car. Whoa, what happened there? There might have been some contact. Looks like maybe some contact. And then, oh, straight into that inside wall. Wow. Take a look here. See right there, that contact. We're not getting a very good look at that, are we? And it looked like the 9 got into the back of the 19, and he hit hard. He hit hard. Wow. Hit him in the back end right there, and he goes straight across the track and hits that inside wall, and he is done. Sobertom Podcast is Ford. He's going to take a little bit of a bump here. Oh, man. Right there. I'm not sure. Oh, what the heck? Man. Last look at this, and this isn't a really great look. This is just getting into the back of the 19 and straight into the inside wall, and he is out. So some contact. All right, second caution flag. Man, that was a hard lick there for Bardelli Jr. So our leader is Tony Furtado. Giulio Caligari is second. Tony, you are going to drive down pit lane there and start at the end of the longest line. Serving that penalty as we see some other guys, takers, on pit lane. I was just talking about how this track is, it's really high speed. There's multiple lanes to ride here, and it is easy to see us get multiple cautions. So these guys have been instructed if we get another quickie caution here, they will be starting pit lane, starting single file. You see the guys come off pit lane. Haven't checked our side-by-side lately, but this guy's coming back out on track, and our race leader is Giulio Caligari. Don't forget, we'll be at Gateway Raceway tomorrow night for race number 6 of the Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen Series. Racing starts at 9 p.m. What a great series that is. You guys have a lot of fun. A lot of leaning toward tire strategy on that as well. So that's coming up tomorrow here at High Octane Racing League. Caligari, our leader in the 6 car, and I think he's probably going to take that inside line here. We'll see. Does look like he is leaning that way. That's going to put the 27 car on the outside line. Looks like the 12 and the 24 will start in row number 2. Second caution flag here in a quick succession. Sean Jacobs and John Stanley will start in row 2 as Gordon Carter, Dennis Udachin will start row 3. Roman Semenchenko and Gilmar Peixoto, row number 4. Row 5 will be Givaldo Spindola and Arthur Vieta. Now remember, Vieta, Mello, and of course Furtado's going to start at the back, but Givaldo, Vieta, and I think even Peixoto came down pit lane to take some service. So let's seize them in the back. See some throttling of the engines there a little bit. John Stanley and Dennis Udachin both on pit lane. We'll top off with fuel. Looks like maybe Vieta and of course Furtado on pit lane. Vieta wanting to top off with gas. Maybe get some fresh tires here. I know you've only done a couple laps with these tires, but maybe not a bad idea. It does look like he's taken some right sides so far. Maybe even 4 tires here. Why not? It does look like he's going to be taking 4 tires. So Vieta now trying to beat the 9 car out. All right, that's going to put Preston Hassel, I believe he's at the front of the grid there with Giulio Caligari. Preston Hassel on the outside. Caligari will start on the inside in P1.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, here we go. Back to green, baby. Let's keep it green. Once we get through this, I think we're going to have long green flag runs here. These guys got to just be patient. Be patient here. Don't need to bump draft. Don't need to try to get a bunch of spots here early on. It's only 18 laps in. Let's do it. Let's settle in. Down the backstretch. Into the fence. It's a virtual world. We can just fly right through the fence. We don't get the drone caught in the fence. As Caligari's jumped out to about 0.3 of a second lead on the 27. The 27's got some room to breathe here, though. Closing in, but now with Caligari a little bit better through the corners. Behind is Gordon Carter in the 2X. Take a look at Gordon Carter. Sean Jacobs shown in 4th. Peixoto looking like he wants to climb up the grid a little bit. He's trying to get around Sean Jacobs, and he does. Peixoto's got a head of steam. And the 27 going back up to the high line. He dipped down to the low line there for just a second. Gordon Carter is in that 2X car. Peixoto tucks in the 4th position. Sean Jacobs in 5th. Artur Vieta and Dennis Udachin here battling. Vieta to the outside. He's using this outside line. Got a little help there from the 3X just ahead. Semchenko in that 3X car as the 4 gets around the 47. He's trying to get his way back up to the front as he sees Semchenko down to the inside line. He can use this and really climb up the track, get a good run as he's got a good run here on Semchenko. Now, Semchenko, remember, he's got some damage from an earlier incident. So probably scrubbing off a little bit of speed. He's going to try to get around as quickly as he can so he can close in on Givaldo. And if anybody can do it, that 4 car can. Caligari continuing to lead, but it is tightening up. You see the 2X, the 27 right there with him. Caligari in the 6, our leader. Julio! The 27 Castrol sponsor machine. He is closing in on that 6 car. He's looking for a way around him, and we got a battle there back with Peixoto and Jacobs. Jacobs to the inside of Peixoto. And Jacobs is going to pull off that pass. Peixoto now falling back to the 5th position as Jacobs is in P4. And this is tightening up now as this guy's starting to burn up those tires a little bit. Peixoto wants that spot back. He's down to the inside. Can he hold it? Jacobs to the outside. We're getting dicey now. 24 on the outside line. I tell you what, I don't like being up there. In that case, I feel like I'm boxed in, and I tell you what, man, they're getting close. Jacobs drifted up, and he almost got into that 71. The 71 pulls off the pass. Now Jacobs trying to do a crossover move coming off the corner. Jacobs trying to do a crossover move. He's got Artur Vieta in the 4 car helping him. Couple Chevys working together. Putting that 71 Chevy back there, losing a position, it looks like. So maybe Vieta might be able to get around as well, and he does. Peixoto now back to the 6th position. On board here with Peixoto. Wow. Great racing there. Preston Hassel diving down to the inside on the 6 car. Preston Hassel in that Castrol-sponsored Ford. Gets around Julio Caligari. Caligari up on the high line. Man, he's got to watch that. As that 2X is going to get through, and that is Gordon Carter. I thought he was going to get into the outside wall, but he was able to hold on to it. These guys are all bunched up together. Couple lanes working. Just don't make a mistake. Could be big. Oh, Caligari out of the gas. Out of the gas, and the Vieta might have gotten into the back of him. Caligari got out of the gas. It looked like the 4 car might have gotten into the back of the 6. '24 tucking in just in front of that 6 car. 6 wedged between the 24 and the 4. The 4 diving down to the inside. He has got a run. Artur Vieta is on a mission. He is now alongside the 24 car coming off the turn. Artur Vieta and the 24 of Sean Jacobs battling. Just behind you see the 6 and the 71 battling it out. Preston Hassel the leader. Jacobs diving down to the inside, now going back up to the outside line. Vieta is on rails right now. He is driving his car like he is on rails. Watch him. He's going to go down to this inside. Now, I think this is going to work for a little while. Back it off there on that one. It's going to work for a little while until he uses up those tires, and then he's going to be a sitting duck, in my opinion. He's got a good run here on the Kubota number 24. He's going to dive down to the inside coming into turn 1. That's the question. He's got Caligari just behind him. Maybe a little help there from Caligari. Out of the throttle, though. He's going up the track just a little bit, feathering that throttle through the corner. I talked about that throttle control here. And you can hear Vieta doing it. closing in and trying to get a run around these guys. Gordon Carter's worked his way up to P2, and Preston Hassel the leader. Listen. Middle throttle control. Trying to set that car up for a good run. Jacobs has got that line, and he's just got a little bump wrap there through the tri-oval. And a little bump there for the 20 onto the 24 from before, and the 24's got to run. He's now going to challenge for the race lead. A little help there from Archer Vieta. Vieta says that might go through the middle. Back behind the 24. Little bumping again for the 24. Couple Chevys here working together to try to get this Ford back to P3. And the Ford trying to tuck that car in. Wow, did he? Oh my God, he needed a shoehorn for that one. He needed a shoehorn for that one. He was able to get that spot, but wow. That was 27 helping out 24, but Vieta is, oh man, I tell you what, bump draft in there, and the 24 got a little squirrely. Got a little squirrely. As the 4 car is claimed the lead, I told you he was on a mission. He looked like he wanted to get around and get back up to the front, and he did it. These guys settling down a little bit now. The 4, the 24, the 27, the 6, and then Gordon Carter and Gilmar Peixoto battling for that 7th or 5th and 6th position. Positions, I should say, as a 27, or the 2X, sorry about that, is in 6th. Somebody sent me text messages right now. Oh, they're 3-1 coming through the corner. Whoa! Gordon Carter going way up the track. 47 to 71, and the 2X were 3 wide. Holy Toledo. Let's take a look at this again. Gordon Carter on the outside, and Peixoto, look at that, man. Split the middle. There's contact. 71 and the 2X. Peixoto making a little room. Holy smokes. Go back to live here as Dennis Udachin trying to get, oh man, he tried to get up the track and did not have the room and had to go down to a hole and hold on to it. He almost wrecked that car. Almost wrecked that car. Wow, Udachin. Battling back, though, on Peixoto. Wow. Almost a crash. It would have taken out a lot of drivers. Still not over, though, as the 47 gets around that 71. Wow. Look at this 12 car. John Stanley, he's been watching this. On board here with him is Peixoto at 71 on the outside line. John Stanley going to use this inside line here to try to get by. Going to need a little help. He doesn't have too much back there working with him. I know that 9 car's got some damage just behind him. The 9 of Tony Furtado. Semenchenko back there as well. Semenchenko back on that lead lap as these guys are starting to maybe run out of tires. Wow. Guys are starting to really heat up those tires. All that racing they were doing, and the 4 car has opened up about a half a second gap there on P2. Preston Hassel running in that 2nd position. See that 27, he is indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So some more battling going on here behind. Good side-by-side battling here as some of these guys are indicating they're going to be coming down pit lane this time by. We go back up here to these race leaders. Been a 3-car breakaway. The 4, the 27, and the 24 breaking away a little bit. And I think the 27 is indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. I don't know what Vieta's plan is, but looks like the 27 and the 24 are coming down pit lane here on lap 34. 6 car on pit lane as well. Looks like the 3X on pit lane. Artur Vieira, the leader. I got to be thinking that he's going to be coming down pit lane here fairly soon. As we've got 3 cars on pit lane, 4 cars on pit lane. Preston Hassel on pit lane. And Artur Vieira continuing to plug away and hopefully benefit, in his mind, benefit from a caution flag to get some of these guys trapped. The problem is now is that he is out there working by himself. As we see Preston Hassel finishing up his pit stop. Caligari back there as well. Sean Jacobs and Roman Semenchenko have all come down pit lane. Now we got some guys who have not made pit stops that are still out on the track. So this is an interesting move here as Artur Vieira trying to open up some gap on these guys. If they start working together, though, they'll be able to reel him in somewhat in terms of pit strategy, because he still has to come down pit lane. And if these guys are working together at full speed under draft conditions, then I can see these guys getting an advantage here. Take a look at Gilmar Peixoto. He's on pit lane. And we would watch him, but we're behind the the garage area as Peixoto on pit lane. Good long pit stop there for him. He's going to try to get that car back out. He had some damage, as far as he's been racing, may have some damage he needed to get fixed. Dennis Udachin is now our race leader. It looked like maybe Shoto had rejoined the racing surface, but he is off the pace a little bit, it looked like. Giving up some time as the 2X of Gordon Carter closing in pretty quickly. Camera, man. We got to fire the cameraman tonight, man. Please do. Dennis Udachin coming down pit lane in the 47 car. Giving up the race lead. We've got some laps led here on lap 38. The 47 making a pit stop, and I think that's going to give the race lead back to Artur Vieira. Preston Hassel shown in the 3rd position. Preston Hassel is about just under 2 seconds behind Vieira. Caligari back there as well. So things of guys, I mean, these guys have sort of spread out a little bit. See the 24, Sean Jacobs there as well. He's following Caligari. So those guys working together can probably close in on that 27 car in fairly short order. As long as they stay hooked together, I think they've got an advantage. Udachin coming back out on track after making his pit stop. He is now back in the 8th position. Artur Vieira has a 2-second lead over Preston Hassel. Vieira is our leader. How good is this guy, man? We have seen him championship after championship, race after race, just get his car where he needs to be, up front. He has a great racing sense. I've known Artur for a long time. I've raced with him, and once I really got into sim racing, back into sim racing, raced with him in a GT3 series over at Alta Velocidad. I know I've talked about that before, and this guy can just get in any car and make it competitive. But he's got that mentality. He knows how to change his strategy on the flow. He's a very, very high IQ sim racing guy. Preston Hassel now back around 2.5 seconds. So those guys are going to try to figure out, solve the mystery of what's causing that 4-car to walk away. Preston has broken away from Caligari and Jacobs a little bit. 6 and the 24 working together, try to close in on Preston Hassel. Maybe make that a 3-car group to try to close in on Vieira. Here we are, 41 laps in. We've got approaching halfway, so we've got a fair number of laps to go. As you see the 24 diving down to the inside of the 6. So Sean Jacobs battling Caligari. Caligari going to give Jacobs a lot of room and try to tuck in behind him. Things are starting to tighten up there. Gordon Carter in the 2X. Getting around Udachin. Carter looking out of the back of his car. Dennis falling back to the 8th position. There's that pass there a moment ago, that 24 making on that 6 car. Oh, Givaldo way up into the outside wall. Givaldo got into the outside wall, almost came down the track, and the 3X is going to get by. Givaldo had some trouble. He went way up the track and got into the outside wall. Wow, man, I'll tell you what, that car just flew up the track. You see he's making contact with the outside wall there, and he almost comes down and gets into that 3X. Wow. Simchenko was lucky to have not gotten into Givaldo there. Givaldo, ooh. Simchenko says, thank you for letting me by. Back up here with Artur Vieira continuing to lead. 3.7 second lead over Hassel, Jacobs, Caligari all running together. The downside of this is if you are in a situation where you're going to be pitting by yourself, you're a little bit spread out from those other guys that may not have a dance partner when you get back out there. Not looking like he needs a dance partner right now, though. He's got about a 4.5 second lead over P2, so something definitely working well for the 4-car. He did stay out and pit a little bit later than these guys too, so better tires, but man, he's got this place figured out. As you see him coming into turn 3, as these guys still on that backstretch. Here goes Caligari in that 4th position. Tony Furtado and Udachin there running together. Now Udachin was running in the 6th spot. You see those guys coming around. There's Givaldo. .47 laps in, and Artur Vieira in control. Sean Jacobs and Preston Hassel trying to do whatever they can to close in onto the back of Vieira's machine. But Vieira continuing to stretch out that gap. 4.8, 4.9 seconds separating P1, P2. Now up to 5 seconds, so definitely Vieira has got the secret. Caligari way up there flirting with that outside wall. Looked like he might have made contact with the outside wall. Take a look here as we go back to replay. Coming into the corner, it just looked like Caligari might have drifted up into the outside. Coming off this corner here, and it's easy to do. So he's way up the track, and he makes some contact with that outside wall, scraping a little paint off. Caligari maybe trying to, or maybe realizing those tires aren't quite as good now as what they were. Losing a little traction. Swapping positions here. It looks like the 24 going down to the bottom line. Getting around the 27. That might have been a wave by the 27. So the 24 now up to P2. See if he can't crack that dent. Close in there and close in and try to get her, get down below 5 seconds. Got 5.5 right now. Tony Furtado's bounced back from an earlier incident. He is now back up to the 5th position. Pretty good run here for him. Udachin in 6th, Carter 7th, Stanley is in 8th. So the 9, Tony Furtado, good top 5 run for him. Got a couple caution flags early on. Had to start in the back on that first one, or the second one, I should say. We'll take a look at John Stanley running behind Gordon Carter's in 12th. John Stanley at Stanley Tools sponsor machine. .40 laps to go. Starting to cluster up here as Furtado, Udachin, Carter, and Stanley all working together. Stanley running in the 8th position. Furtado is up there in 5th. 6th is Udachin. Carter is in 7th. Take a look at Mateus Mello. Actually, this is Roman Semachenko. Mello is just ahead of him in the 10th spot. Semachenko running in 11th. He's on the lead lap. Ubaldo at the tail end of the lead lap is at risk of going down a lap. He's about 10 seconds, maybe 9 seconds from going down a lap. Semachenko in his 3X car is running in the 11th spot. Mateus Mello here trying to get around Giomar Peixoto. Mello to the inside. Said my mellow is, or what is it? My yellow is not so mellow. I'm Mateus Mello. He gets around. He is now up to the 9th position. Giomar way up the track. Oh, Giomar way up that track. He makes contact with the wall, comes across, keeps the car straight. Whoa! He got into the outside wall. Was able to save it. So that picks bet number 71 almost wrecked this car. Take a look at this. He's going to hit this wall right there coming off the corner and then throws the car to the inside and keeps it out of the inside wall. What a great job there by the 71. Wow. And now we see him on pit lane. Givaldo also on pit lane. So the 71 is on pit lane. You see Givaldo has finished up his pit stop, coming back out on track. And I have a feeling these guys are going to start making pit stops here fairly soon. Now, I know the 71 has made hard contact with that outside wall. And that may prompted him to come down pit lane. He's now, I'm starting to hear some pit calls. There's Giomar coming back out on track. I'm starting to hear some guys announce that they're pitting. So Shoto back out. So we're interested to see how this is going to work out. Jacobs and Hassel both on pit lane. Preston Hassel, Sean Jacobs, both on pit lane. Camera angle behind the garage area. There we go. So Preston Hassel, also the 2X of Gordon Carter on pit lane. Gordon Carter. Those guys ahead finished up their pit stop. He's like, I need a dance partner. Now I got to be wondering here, what's Artur Vietta's plan? As these guys have come down pit lane here on lap 56. The 4 car is still out there by himself. And it looks like he's coming down pit lane. So there we go. Artur Vietta now making a pit stop. So our race leader is now on pit lane. So Vietta on pit lane. And our race leader is now Dennis Udachin. As the race leader makes his pit stop. Udachin the leader. John Stanley is in second. Artur Vietta now finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track, and he will be in the 4th position. Long way around here on the apron for the 4 car. So I think these guys ahead have to make a pit stop. And that includes Udachin in the 47, the 12, and the 6. I think both those guys have to come down pit lane. Stanley had indicating he is coming down pit lane in that 12, so I know he's going to be making a pit stop. He's down on the inside, Udachin as well. As Artur Vietta shown in the 3rd position, and by the time we get this worked out, I think he's going to be the race leader. Stanley and Udachin both on pit lane. And Artur Vietta, easy in, easy out. Udachin finishing up his pit stop. You see him coming back by as John Stanley trying to tag onto the back of Dennis's car. Oh, Dennis into the gas. Oh, boy, almost spun out. Almost spun out. Oh, he got into the gas here. Let's see what happened. Watch this. Dennis is going to accelerate. He loses the back end of the car. He's into the grass here. Oh, man, he misses the inside wall, but wow, he got into the gas, and that car broke loose. On board here, watch. Oh, he shifted, and on that bottom line, he shifted, and it broke the back end loose, and he did a great job to keep from getting into the inside wall. Wow. Dennis. And yeah, just the car just breaks loose right there. He does such a great job of avoiding this right there. Boy, almost got into the wall. Ah. After having such a good pit stop. John Stanley had a ringside seat for that. Watch this. He was like, whoa, where you going, buddy? That's not the way you do it. Not the way around this track. Udachin kicking up some grass. At least he kept the car straight and was not any damage there. Did not get into the wall. Wow, that is crazy. Hey, we got two views of Artur Vieta. How about that? I say, hey, one Artur Vieta is not enough. We need two. We need somebody to get out here and beat this guy. And it just might be another Artur Vieta to do that. Peixoto back on pit lane. I don't know what happened to him, but Peixoto now coming back out on track after making another pit stop. So he is now down one lap. Mello, the first car, one lap down. Mateus Mello running in the 10th position. Roman Semchenko in the 3X is in the lucky dog position right now. If their caution flags come out, we've got a pretty green flag field of this race. Take a look at Giulio Caligari and Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter in the 2X, Caligari in the 6. Battling it out. Mello might have indicated that he's going to be coming down pit lane. Not sure I heard correctly on the radio. Looks like Mello might have gotten caught speeding and has to come back down pit lane. Speeding for Mello. Mateus Mello on pit lane. Has to do a drive-through. He got caught speeding and police got him. So Mateus Mello doing the drive-through, speeding on pit lane here on lap 64. And he almost come around there, coming off, just like what Dennis did. Nearly a carbon copy of what Udachin did earlier. He was able to save it a little bit. Preston Hassel running in that second position. He and Sean Jacobs are trying to do their best to close in on Vieta. That's almost 8-second gap between Vieta and the 27 of Preston Hassel. Jacobs in third. Furtado has had a pretty good race considering the incident early in the race where he had to start at the back of the field. He's done a pretty good job of reeling that back in, regaining his composure, and you know, getting a good spot. I mean, he's in the top 5. You can't really sneeze at that. I know he wants the race win, but got into the back of Bardelli early in the race, and Bardelli went into the wall and had to retire. He had some catastrophic damage. Gordon Carter and Giulio Caligari. These guys have been racing around each other pretty much all night. Gordon Carter run. So that 2X and the 6. 2X way up the track there that time. Artur Vieta is the leader. A little bit of a hitch there. Lost connection there for just a split second in my OBS. I don't know why I did that, but sorry about that. I apologize. A little bit of a hitch in the stream. Hopefully we're still going. Nothing that I can control. Don't normally get that, but I did today. Well, these guys have not really been able to chip into the lead that Artur Vieta has. Preston Hassel now 9.5 seconds down to P1. Whatever Vieta's doing, he's got the right mix because he's able to run away from these guys. 9-second gap on Preston Hassel. Sean Jacobs running in the third position. Furtado fourth. Carter is in fifth. A lot of Chevys, 4 Chevys and 1 Ford in the top 5. Caligari running in that 6th position just behind Gordon Carter. I think working together has really not panned out. I thought the draft was going to be a lot better out of a tandem, but it does not seem like it is. Well, I think these guys are going to have to pit again very, very soon. And we'll see how this works out for the 4-car. Is he going to be able to get the same fuel mileage? I just don't know if Vieira is going to be able to save as much fuel as Hassel and Jacobs. This will be interesting to see how this shakes out as far as pit stop strategy. Mello is indicating he's got to come down pit lane again. What in the world? He's got another speeding penalty. 2 speeding tickets in one night? He's doing a drive-through. He's got to make sure he maintains below that pit road speed or stays right on the dot so he doesn't get caught again. So Mello now coming back out on track after getting speeding penalty twice. Gordon Carter has indicated he's going to be coming down pit lane this time by Gordon Carter in the 2X machine. Will be making a pit stop. Caligari's got a question whether Caligari is going to go with him or stay out. Caligari, I think, is staying out, so he goes to the high side as Gordon Carter has indicated, hey, I'm making a pit stop. Go ahead and take the outside line. Looks like Furtado's coming down pit lane as well. So Gordon Carter, the 2X machine, making a pit stop here on lap 74. Preston Hassel and Sean Jacobs also on pit lane. Now, again, we've got a situation where Vieira is kind of out there by himself. That has not really panned out the way that I thought it was going to. I thought him being out there by himself was going to be a bad deal because these guys using the draft will be able to, close in. But we have not seen that pan out. The 4-car's been able to work out there by himself very, very well. Furtado, Cardo, Simonchenko all on pit lane. Preston Hassel, Sean Jacobs has finished up their pit stop. Take a look at Simonchenko here in the 3X on pit lane, taking some service here on lap 75. Caligari on pit lane. See him coming down and jumping into his pit stall as Simonchenko gets by. Now Vieira has indicated he's coming down pit lane, so Vieira, the race leader, is on pit lane. John Stanley in the 12, I think, will be our race leader. By the time this shakes out, we'll see. Well, I think John Stanley might assume the race lead here. We'll see. Going to be close. As Vieta coming around on that inside, and I don't think John is... Yeah, he does. He is the race leader now. So John Stanley in the 12. Stanley Tool sponsored Ford, our new race leader. As Vieta has rejoined the racing surface in P3. We go up here with John Stanley on our main screen. John Stanley's got about a 3.5 second lead over our second place car, and that is Dennis Odachin. Take a look at that gap there, about 4 seconds, 3.5 to 4 second gap there between the 12 and the 47. Vieta shown in the third position. Jacobs is fourth. Hassel is fifth. Odachin coming down pit lane, so he's given up his spot in his 47 car to come down pit lane. And I think John Stanley is going to have to make a pit stop here as well. And I am hearing that on the radio, John Stanley is indicating that he's going to be coming down pit lane. And that's going to give the race lead back to Artur Vieta. So Stanley peeling off the track to come down pit lane. See him going by. Easy to make. There's so many lines here, man. It's so easy to make a pit stop. I mean, make a speeding penalty as you're pitting. As Stanley now bringing that Ford down pit lane. And just as how we started this pit sequence, now we're finishing it with that top four pretty much where they were. Vieta, Jacobs, Hassel, and Furtado. Now Jacobs and Hassel are down about 10 seconds to Artur Vieta. As we're approaching 10 to go here very soon. A little under 10, right around 10, a little under 10 here as we play around with that a little bit as Jacobs in second, Hassel third, Furtado fourth. Carter is in fifth. We go back here and take a look at Preston Hassel and Sean Jacobs. They've worked together pretty much all night long, and you would have thought that this tandem would be able to reel in Vieta, but it has not come to fruition. As I talked about that earlier, it still has not panned out. I mean, these guys definitely have enough fuel to take it to the end now. I question whether they got a full load of fuel. Definitely 4 tires, but did they get a full load of fuel? If they didn't, that's going to help them out. They'll be a little bit faster, a little lighter. But I don't think these guys have really been able to solve the mystery of being able to close in on Vieta. Vieta has got a 10-second lead on these guys. Now, if you're Artur Vieta, when you roll up on some of this lap traffic, you want to try to get by as smoothly as possible. You don't want anything to give Jacobs and Hassel an opportunity to close the gap. Furtado running back in that 19th position, or excuse me, 19 seconds down in fourth. Almost 20 seconds down there for him to the race leader. Carter is in fifth. Caligari sixth. Udachin is in seventh. Remember, Udachin had a little trouble early on in the race. He's been able to recover somewhat, racing in the seventh position. He is the last car on the lead lap. John Stanley down one lap in the lucky dog position. I think I would be remiss to say, if I didn't say that this has got a green flag feel to it now. He had definitely in some lap traffic as he got by John Stanley, put him a lap down here on lap 84. And I think aside from, some caution flag to bunch things back up, he's pretty much got this in the bag. I don't think there's really any really worries with him as he approaches Givaldo Spindola in that 68 car. Not been the night I think that Givaldo would want to see, but I'll tell you what, man, you cannot ask for a more loyal driver. He is out early. He likes to get in and get the chat started as well. He's here 3 times a week. 4 times sometimes when we had Indy cars as well. And this guy is just a really, really nice guy. Very friendly. No nonsense. And he just gets out there and gets it done and has fun. He's racing in the 11th position right now. 5 laps to go for the 4 car. I don't think there's in too much of a hurry to get up to Givaldo. Closing in on trying to put him another lap down. I don't think he's really too concerned about that. He just wants to make sure he gets through smoothly. Going down to the bottom line, probably a little communication between the two of those guys. There's a Givaldo giving John Stanley a lot of room as well. This is what I was talking about, man. Really just shows how to race people. We all make mistakes. We get into accidents sometimes, but he really handles that stuff very, very well. He's one of the nicest guys. I think sometimes he's really too nice in terms of racing. He lets guys go when he should be out there, trying to hold on to that position and race them hard. Jacobs in second, Hassel third, Furtado is in fourth, Carter still in that 5th position. 4 Chevys and a Ford in the top 5. John Stanley feeling a little frisky here in the 12 car. He is 1 lap down in the lucky dog position. And I think it's fair game trying to get your lap back, and he's diving down to the inside. I don't think there's too much problem for the Ford letting him go. So John Stanley now back on the lead lap as we got 3 to go for Arta Vieira. Once we get those caution flags out of the way, we've had a pretty uneventful race other than a few passes. Everybody's sort of plastered where they are. We've had a little bit of an issue there with Udachin coming off pit lane. That's Vieira closing in on the back of the 12. He says, I'm ready to get racing here. Let's do it. 12 car says, I don't want to get turned here. Come on, man. So Vieira going down the backstretch here with 2 to go. Sean Jacobs in second, Hassel third. It'll be interesting to see what those guys do as far as battling for position. I think Preston definitely going to give him a run. We got 1 to go for Arta Vieira. That battle there for P2 is looks like Preston Hassel going to the inside. He wants to pick up that second position. Sean Jacobs in the 24 does not want to give it up. He might try this crossover move as the 4 closing back in onto that 12 car. And the 4 of Artur Vieira is going to claim the victory here at California. What a great job for Artur. So Artur Vieira gets the win here at Cali. How about that? So Artur Vieira getting the big win at California. Man, he was those guys working together in the draft were not able to solve the mystery. The jump here to the other side of the car. It's difficult to do this, believe me. It's not easy. So Artur Vieira gets the big win. What a run there for Artur. And he knows where to place that car too, doesn't he? Great job to Artur on getting the win here at Cali. Wowza. So Artur Vieira gets the big win. We'll see if we can't. I know he's not going to come up here to the booth here, but we'll get the graphic up here in just a moment. Let's take a look at the final results. Let's take a look at the final results here tonight. Artur Vieira gets the win. Preston Hassel finishes in that second position. Finishing in third is Sean Jacobs. Tony Fontana finishes in the fourth position. Gordon Carter finishes in fifth. Julio Caligari finishes in that sixth position. Dennis Udachin finishes in P7. John Stanley finishes in the eighth position. Roman Semachenko finishes ninth. Gilmar Peixoto rounding out the top 10. Finishing in 11th is Givaldo Spindola. Mateus Melo finishes in 12th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. finishes in the 13th position. Congratulations to Artur Vieira on getting the big win. And look at that. Look at that. See if we can't get this picture straightened out. It always looks good until it doesn't, right? Isn't that the way that works? There we go. It's a what we call a Bush League operation. You know, it's like a second-class operation, maybe even a third-class operation. Congratulations to Artur getting a win here in California. What a well-played strategy for him. Got out there, and I think he and Bardelli were going to work together, but didn't work out for Bardelli, that's for sure. Some contact for him, and he was not there. He had to, he lost his engine and was not there to work with Vieira the rest of the race. Don't forget, next week we will be at Chicagoland Speedway. Race number 6 of the season, a 100-lap race. Great track coming up next week. You don't want to miss it. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Should be a fun one. Always enjoys Chicagoland. Going to be racing sort of similar to what we saw tonight, man. Some side-by-side racing. Maybe some guys getting really antsy early on. And then kind of getting it figured out, spreading that field out a little bit. But a great race here tonight after these guys got through a couple caution flags. Saturday Night Thunder will be back in action tomorrow for race number 6 of the season. 120-lap race from Gateway. Always enjoy that track, and you don't want to miss that one, that's for sure. Did I just play the same song over again? My heavens, man. What am I doing? Oh, so that's coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m., the Next Gen Series, 120-lap race from the Gateway. And the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action next Wednesday, or this coming Wednesday, for race number 6 of the season, a 100-lap race from Chicagoland. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. I think I got disconnected and reconnected. Hopefully it's working out. I don't know. But if not, we'll upload the recording to get that all straightened out. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to smash the bell. You'll get updates when races are going live. So thank you so much. Congratulations to Arthur Vieta. And that's going to do it for me tonight, boys and girls. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. I am out of here.